EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Chicago Bears. With that, it's time for Super Bowl 53. For the call, let's go to Atlanta, as it is my pleasure to hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
I'm Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis, beyond thrilled to be bringing you the Super Bowl. All the pomp, all the circumstance, all the pageantry. It doesn't get any better than this, partner.
I'm loving sharing this booth with you, sharing this moment, this type of a game. For all the teachers who said we'd never make it, we're here.
And we talk these last couple weeks about the buildup, the anticipation. I think these guys are just ready to get out there and get this thing started.
And I know that both coaching staffs have spent considerable time trying to figure out how to best bring their team up to a peak without taking them over the edge and causing a lot of issues early in the game.
And you don't think much of a pregame speech is needed for this one?
I think the pregame speeches were the shortest all year. If they didn't just say, let's go get them, guys, they probably talked too much.
Years after Joe Namath and the guarantee, we are underway in Super Bowl 53. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. Leading them out at QB is the former North Carolina Tar Heel, Mitchell Trubisky.
When I talk with people around the league about Mitchell Trubisky when he's coming out of North Carolina, those that had questions about him, it often centered in on the fact that he was only a one-year starter and wondered why he couldn't beat out the guy ahead of him beforehand. I just locked in on the athletic ability, the accuracy, and then once he got the football, how the team responded to him. I think his upside is big.
Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Trubisky now off the bootleg. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down. Now a look at the defensive starters here for the Steelers. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago. And last week in that victory, they were pretty good. Probably a pretty easy film session, I would imagine.
And after a performance like that, so many people think you just roll into film, take your popcorn, kick back, and enjoy the show because they played well. I can just tell you from experience, after a win is when coaches come down on you harder because they want to emphasize all the mistakes that happen. Because you won, you're in a good mood. They want to bring you back to earth. Oftentimes you walk out of there and you ask your teammate, did we win last week?
So my assumption was wrong. I learned something. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. A good run by Jordan Howard, and now another 1st and 10. From midfield now, here's Trubisky. Unable to corral him, he fights through. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Touchdown, Chicago! With a first touchdown of this Super Bowl, and a long one at that. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Striking first in any game is very important, but on this stage, the biggest of stages in the Super Bowl, that's huge.
You fully expect the other team to battle all the way through, but when you're the one setting the pace, jumping out in front, that has to feel great for the entire organization.
Cody Parkey is on now for the point after. Parkey with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This will be taken very short. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by a man who's becoming an elder statesman among quarterbacks in the league, drafted back in 2004. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
We talk so often about his physical attributes. Of course, the Big Ben nickname, his ability to take hits in the pocket, his ability to extend plays and get outside of the pocket. But how about this for efficiency? Top 10 in career NFL passer rating. And he's one of the top 5 winningest quarterbacks in NFL history. That's pretty darn good.
First carry for James Conner. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
Out wide was the youngest player in the NFL in 2017, Juju Smith-Schuster. And he also had the longest reception in the league last season at 97 yards. Actually well-schooled in route running and able to run for both outside and moving inside to the slot position in order to make big plays.
Roethlisberger will hand the counter across the 30 to the 31-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. A look at the starters now defensively for the Bears. Well, they were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
I was so proud of you in our meeting with the defensive coordinator because you asked the question that set him off. And all you said was, so what improvement do you need to see this week, Coach? And, boy, he got fired up, didn't he? Takeaways. We need turnovers. We've got to create them. Got so animated, jumped up in our meeting. It was fun to watch.
Somehow I always upset a coordinator in those meetings. Yeah. But they like you. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. This one complete, right side to McDonald. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They run with counter, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. And they'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for fourth down. How about this for an opening drive decision? You got fourth and short, just outside of field goal range in all likelihood. What do?
I'm going for it. I've got to go get it right now. I want to establish a tone. It's early in the game. I want to let my offense know that I believe in them. And you know something else? I let my defense know I believe in them also by taking that gamble. If we don't get it, it's okay. You guys will cover for me.
And now back out comes the offense. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll begin the drive with Howard. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. And a hook up here to Allen Robinson. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of this Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
He's going to go for it, and this will be caught at the 30. Trubisky hitting Robinson for a big one, and even 40 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So we played a quarter here in Super Bowl 53. 7-0 is our score. The NFL on EA Sports continues right after this message. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here. Now Trubisky to throw. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a 1st down. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Bears will add on to their lead.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. Now Parkey for the extra point. Parkey adds the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This will be taken short. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. And McDonald here over the middle. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. His 2nd catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a 1st down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Loose, and this is picked up by the Bears.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Jordan Howard and the rest of the offense heading back out there. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. They go with Howard to begin the drive. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Trubisky to throw on second. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On third down, this is Howard. It's a gain of 3, and it gets him to first. They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. Fighting ahead at the 15. He's able to out-muscle him here as he pulls it in. Touchdown, Chicago. Trey Burton, 44 yards. And the Bears will extend their lead. The tight end can kind of be that diamond in the rough secret weapon that you have. And right there they show you why.
And it's becoming less of a secret, isn't it, partner? Every game that we do nowadays, the tight end is a featured receiver, not just a blocker, as in the days of old.
Now Parkey for the extra point. Parkey with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Just a 4-play drive that time, and the end result is a Bears touchdown. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This will be taken very short. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Got his man complete over the middle. That's McDonald. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And he finds McDonald. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 3 yards there. Good enough to keep the drive moving.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route. But he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
Roethlisberger coming up with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back on Super Bowl Sunday after this. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. It's complete to Brown, right side. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long.
Set. Black 20.
Again, it's Roethlisberger. Got a man. It's Brown. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Ben to throw again. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first. They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Leonard Floyd in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Here's Roethlisberger. On the left side, it's McDonald. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Roethlisberger now 10 of 10 to start the game. How about that? As he comes up on a 1st and 10. Roethlisberger looking left side, and he's got a man. That's James. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. 1st and 10 right at the 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
It's never a bad idea to try and get it to Antonio Brown, but there must be a little bit of the Madden curse going on for our cover athlete here. Hasn't been able to get that elite separation that we're used to seeing from him.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw again is Roethlisberger. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 1st half. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. They go play action with Roethlisberger. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And these guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they're getting blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
"19 seconds showing to play in the half as they come up here 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Trubisky. He's going to air one out. And got his man complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's 1st down on the other side of the field. They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. Over the middle, complete. That's Burton. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Less than an extra point attempt here. This is an 18-yarder. And Parkey's kick is good. So we've come upon halftime here in Super Bowl 53. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight. As we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. It has been a remarkable first season in the studio for me. I want to thank you guys so much as I send it over one final time for the second half call of Super Bowl 53 to Brandon and Charles in Atlanta.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here comes Ben Roethlisberger and the Steeler offense back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, well, get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. On third down, Roethlisberger going for the deep ball. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. They've been able to move the ball well in the air, and certainly a big reason why those receiving corps have been excellent.
There's no doubt about it, partner. And let's face it, when they get away from defenders, those guys are quick. And when they go over the top of people and use their bodies, they're just thick. But let's face it, what we're seeing right now are catches that are simply sick.
Well, you brought your A game. You're fired up over those catches, aren't you?
Can't help it. Even as a former defensive back, I've got to tip my cap to these guys. They are balling.
I appreciate that. First down, they run with Howard. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
So free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. Returnable here from the 38.
We all know the teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
Well, they gave the 60-yarder a try, didn't make it, and now they're in a tough position defensively. This offense has it at midfield. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On second down, Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete here. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target, and it's 3rd and short.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he's missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been a heck of a halftime speech.
Yeah, maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. It was the veteran Prince Amukamara that time who had the play covered from the start.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses have a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
The Bears on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd down and 12. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Now a fair catch is called for and taken a few yards across midfield. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to...
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. John Jenkins able to drop him for a loss of a couple. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Now it's Connor, and he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag.
The previous play is under review. After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Roethlisberger will throw. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's James. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. His 2nd catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Now been hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Trubisky with a give to Howard. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. It's Big Vince Williams who made the tackle.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now it's Trubisky going up top. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. The Bears on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And a loose football. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, it's Trubisky. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 1 quarter remains in Super Bowl 53. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Trubisky now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now Howard. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Throwing here, Trubisky. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Parkey now following the made field goal to kick this one off. This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Bears defense gearing up as they take the field. And they forced the fumble last time. Now 4 turnovers for this defense. They've been darn good.
It's become a feeding frenzy, hasn't it? I mean, almost like the sharks. And they descend upon their prey. That's what they've done this entire game. 4 takeaways, they preach it, and today they're living it.
Well, when you have that many, you probably think, all right, well, we'll just get another one now, right?
That's how it works. Everyone feels like, if I didn't get one, I'm doing something wrong.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Now Roethlisberger to throw. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Aaron Lynch leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Steelers on third down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now Roethlisberger. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have. And now 3 drives, 3 fumbles.
What's amazing about it is when we go around and watch practices, how many times do we see them put that sleeve over a football now to make it more slippery and hard to handle? It's almost like they're playing with that sleeve on the ball right now. Was that 3 drives?
Yep.
3 fumbles?
3 fumbles.
It's time to change our luck some way, somehow. Focus, concentration. You'll hear those words on the bench in a big way right now.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 21. They go counter with Howard. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, Trubisky is going to let this one go deep. He's got a man, complete. A gain of 39 that time. Time for a break. We're back to crown a champion after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On a handoff, this is Howard. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Again, it's Howard. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with third and just a couple.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
On third down, it's Howard. And eventually taken down, but how about that athletic spin move we saw? Gives him the first down yardage. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And the Chicago Bears have etched their name in NFL history. They are your Super Bowl champions. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champion.
And they can't ever take that away, can they?
Nope.
That lasts forever. So good to see the emotion when it's all said and done. You see the hugs, you see the guys sharing, the collective happiness. Makes me want to carry you around a little bit on my shoulders to celebrate the triumph. And congratulations to them, a fantastic season.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gunn. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.